Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. David De Gea has signed a new contract at Manchester United. And Manchester United have ripped it up and offered him a new one. Only at this football club could you find this sense and just complete and utter incompetence and chaos. And look, I know, I get it, it's a difficult one. But I would say if you want De Gea to leave, imagine they did this to Marcus Rashford. It's not the player, it's the way the club behaves that is completely wrong. I get the sigh of relief. I actually think De Gea will leave, but I know a lot of you want him to leave and you'll be going, oh, thank God he's not signed a contract. But for just 1 minute, acknowledge, please do acknowledge the complete and utter incompetence of Manchester United, because this is what's coming out. David De Gea, this is coming from The Athletic. David De Gea had signed a contract extension at Manchester United with a drastic reduction on his wages, only for the club to back out of the agreed proposal and put forward a newer proposal with even lower wages. There's no winner in this. Nobody wins in this apart from the incompetence of Manchester United, because those people who want De Gea to go will be relieved that United have pulled the contract away, but then they've offered a new one on lesser wages. So you're not getting what you want anyway, because he can still stay. And those of us who are just like, what the hell are we doing? I don't mind De Gea staying for another year if we spend the money on more important areas. And it's ridiculously disrespectful to put a contract in someone's face who's been here for over a decade and has just won the Golden Glove, and then when he goes to sign it, rip it away and reduce the wages even more. It's just not the way you behave. It's not the way you treat players, but it's also completely and utter amateur. No wonder we are so bad at transfers when we do a contract up and then go, no, don't let him sign it, do another one. It's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And as I say, I don't think anybody wins. So if you are just tuning in, Manchester United offered David De Gea a contract, probably the contract we thought he was going to sign back in May, that Fabrizio said. Reduced wages, he was in £375,000 a week. We think it went down to about 220. He was going to sign that. United have pulled that away, and then but they haven't said go. They've put another one in front of him. So, I would like De Gea to stay. I don't think he's going to stay. Some of you, a lot of you, would like him to go, but United do want to keep him. It's a money-saving exercise, and that's disgusting. So can we just unite behind this together? It's not about whether De Gea goes or leaves, or whether you want him to go or leave. United want to keep him. They're just trying to get him for cheaper. There's no like, oh, Ten Hag knows he wants to play out from the back and he wants De Gea to go, or Ten Hag doesn't know he's keeping the keeper. This is very, very clear. United want him to stay. I've offered him a contract, have then gone, that's a little bit too much, here's the new one. They want him to stay, they've offered a contract, and I think what's happened is David De Gea quite rightly has gone, hold on a minute, I've been at this club for years, I've just had a good season in my mind, you offer me a contract, I've agreed to reduce my wages, so I'm helping you out, you've offered me a contract, I've thought about it, I want to sign it, and then you're reducing my wages again. And look, we could be talking about 220 to 180. I don't think it's going to be... I've said this myself. If he's on 375 grand a week at the moment, and the new contract that he was going to sign was, let's say, 220 or 200, this new contract, even if it's as low as £150,000 a week, it still makes him one of the top, probably the fourth or fifth best paid goalkeeper in the Premier League, to stick him on the bench. What? See it for what it is. This is a money-saving exercise from Manchester United. If they wanted De Gea to go, they would just say go. The fact that they want to keep him means that he will be staying as number one, because you can't have a number two goalkeeper on 150 grand a week or 170 or whatever it is we're offering. And effectively, it's just a cheap money saving exercise, isn't it? It's ridiculous. I despair. I despair at this transfer window, and I despair at what Manchester United are doing. I just think, make a decision. We seem unable to make a decision. Do you want him to go? Do you want him to stay? If you want him to go, let him go. If you want him to stay, give him the contract. But you've already lost. You've already lost here, because you cannot have. There'll be people in the chat going, well, it's because we want him on a cheap wage as the reserve goalkeeper. No logical football club in the world gives David De Gea 150, 140, 170k a week to be the reserve goalkeeper. You just don't do it. Any goalkeeper will tell you, when you're at a football club, you want to know you're the number one, and you want to look at the bench and know they're number two, and you want the number two to know they're number two. You don't pay 150 grand a week for a goalkeeper to sit on the bench, because what happens is that goalkeeper on the bench wants the first team shirt. The goalkeeper in the first team knows there's a good goalkeeper on the bench, and the cameras from Sky and BT and everyone else, they know it as well. So they're looking at the goalkeeper on the bench going, he'll be wanting his chance. That, we have to have a clear and defined number one next season. And that means you either have David De Gea in goal and a very obvious reserve goalkeeper, or you have no David De Gea, go for Onana and a very obvious reserve goalkeeper. You don't have Onana and De Gea. That's just ridiculous. It's a waste of money, no matter how cheap De Gea's wages are. So what United are going to do, I don't know. It's coming from The Athletic. He had signed a new contract, only for Manchester United to back out. Initial offer would have been a drastic reduction, but the new proposal is even lower and has not been signed. So, look, some people might say, well, you know what, this is just United tactics to make David De Gea walk. Maybe. But it's a sad tactic to do that to a club, for me, a club legend, certainly a club great. And I don't think United are that clever or competent. Look, if I want to get rid of somebody, maybe I do offer them crap wages, hoping that they'll leave. But what if they take those crap wages? I'm stuck with them. So it's not a good business tactic. What do I think is going to happen next? I think David De Gea will leave. I think he's got a right to leave. I think he has got a right to say, I can get really good money in Saudi Arabia. You've not treated me very well. And he has a right to leave. And then that opens up United's opportunity to go and sign somebody else. I think that's what will happen. But I think the way United have handled this is a joke. And even if you want De Gea to leave, and even if you want Onana, it's still a joke. What are we doing offering that amount of money for a goalkeeper that, is he going to be number one? If he's going to be reserve goalkeeper, you cannot offer that type of money. So I don't know what United are doing. It just looks to me like we're trying to balance the books, reduce the wage bill, financial fair play. But look, this is where we're at the moment. Get your comments in below. We've got Chris Wheeler on from the Daily Mail live at 4 o'clock. I'm sure he can give us a little bit more on the sale and everything else. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. I'll be back again when Man United do something else ridiculous. Speak to you in a bit.